Thank you very much. What I really want to know today is, what do I have to do around here to get a hug off the Vice-Chancellor? Chair? Yeah, I sneaked a kiss in as well. Chair, Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, graduates, families and friends. If you expect me to talk today about success and failure, you won't be disappointed. But I'm also going to chuck in a few nuggets. It's about second, third and fourth chances. But most of all, I'm going to talk about itches today and why you must always, always scratch them. I'll be honest with you, I am the most unpromising of candidates to give you a pep talk about achievement, especially in the educational sphere, and I'll tell you why. 52 years ago, I failed my 11 plus exam. It was a massive deal back then. It pretty much marked out those kids who were deemed good enough to go to a grammar school, and the rest of us consigned to a secondary modern, later to become a comprehensive. I have to say the messaging from the school and even the parents and the adults around you was pretty unsubtle. You'd failed. You're not good enough. So I ended up at a technical college in Bootle, which, if you don't know it, and actually why should you, it's in North Liverpool. I managed to dodge all of the courses on painting and decorating, car mechanics, plumbing, and I even managed to do GCSE O-levels, which were denied me by my first school. I even got to do A-levels. Now, I managed to get 3 U grades in my A-levels. Just to be clear, that's really bad. The wheels had really come off my educational bus, but what was I thinking anyway? A-levels? Seriously? The likes of me didn't go to university. I didn't know a single person who had gone to uni. I didn't even know what university meant. It was never ever mentioned at my school. Now, years later, I would tell people that Bootle Technical College was a finishing school for young northern gentlemen. Well, they certainly finished me off. Or so I thought. Now, if you've got an itch, you need to scratch it. So after grabbing a few A-levels at night school while I was working, I gave up my day job in Liverpool and I pitched up in Brighton to do an English degree at the other place, that's Sussex University, I know you'll forgive me. And I loved it. I gave English literature a good old 3-year scratch. And at the age of 30, the 11 plus reject had an English degree. Now, I then worked for a couple of years in different jobs. I had to pay off the uni debts, including, well, I know we all have to do that, don't we? And one of my jobs was in the estates department at this very university. I can literally tell you where the skeletons are buried in Mithras House. Okay. And then there's that itch again. It's a voice. It's telling me to do something. What is it this time? It's telling me to become a lawyer. So at the age of 32, and this is in 1992, so prehistoric, I know, I began a law conversion course at the one and only University of Brighton. Now, it was a 2-year part-time course, so I could also work. Genius. And you have to love the University of Brighton. It's a properly inclusive educational establishment. They even let Scousers in. Now, I couldn't afford to do the full-time law conversion course because, like many of you, I had to work. There was no safety net. So the offer of a place at Brighton Uni was a further chance for me. It's a second chance, a third chance in life. It was a lifeline. I knew it at the time, and I swore I would never forget. So I wish I could tell you all about the great time I had at the uni over my 2-year course. The truth is, I only had 4 hours of tutor time every week, and I had to juggle 4 different jobs, and I lived like a monk. I once spent my entire week's food money on a copy of Clark and Linsell on torts, and I had to live off boiled cabbage for 3 days, and I wondered why I had no friends. But by the time I was 37, I was a qualified solicitor. And by the time I was in my 50s, I'd been a partner in 2 very large local firms. Time to sit back. Nah. Okay, there's that itch again. And the itch this time was to start my own firm, to deliver family law the right way. Sometimes, I'll be honest with you, graduates, you've got to get lucky in life. And I scooped the jackpot because I met Robert Williams, who's here in the audience today. He's an amazing lawyer. He's a cracking fella. He's really good looking as well. And we started our own firm, Family Law Partners, in 2011. Now, if you look at my Twitter profile, I say my superpower is surrounding myself with people better than me. And people say, oh, Alan, you're so self-deprecating, you're so modest. It's absolutely marvelous. Modesty, my arse. I'll be honest with you, it's my business plan hiding in plain sight. Now, I have surrounded myself with brilliant people, our Family Law Partners, and from a handful of people in our Brighton office, we have grown to nearly 30 family lawyers. We dominate the Southeast. And not just the Southeast, we've won many national awards, and I think we're up to 10 now. And in fact, my mum has scribbled some notes in the margin here. She says, don't forget to tell them that Family Law Partners are one of the top 3 family law teams in the country according to the Times. Always do what your ma tells you. So I've got it in there. And then you get that itch again. And this time it's about access to justice. Why is it so hard to access quality legal advice? So in 2017, we formed an innovation partnership with Brighton University to create our own AI. And it was focused on dispute resolution alternatives to the court. And we won funding from Innovate UK. And our partnership with the university won another national award, fighting off some really incredibly strong competition. Go Brighton, okay? I said before that I would never forget the chance that our university gave me all those years ago. Never forget where you started from, and never forget who has helped you along the way. So it's payback time. And 3 years ago, Family Law Partners, my firm, decided to create some chances of our own for students in the School of Business and Law. We created a scholarship program. And we support 2 students each year throughout the course of their undergraduate studies. And we are really incredibly proud that today the first of our scholars graduates here. Now listen, I can be a really embarrassing dad. In fact, I'm at the peak of my powers right now, but I'm not going to name our graduate, but she's out there. You know who you are, and the whole of Family Law Partners are incredibly proud of you today. Now, I can't promise I can't promise anything in life, but I definitely can't promise I won't get any more itches. So despite being 63 next month, I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up. But I can remember the excitement of graduation, the sense of being on the cusp, the very cusp of a new life chapter, and I have the privilege of sitting on the advisory board for your school. So I am well aware that many of you have faced formidable challenges, not just to get here in the first place, but to stick with your studies, especially when the going has got really tough. So just take this moment to tell yourselves, I did this. Drink it in, because you've earned it 100 times over. And if you get the opportunity to pay this back in the future, your university is ready and waiting for you. Chair, Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, graduates, families, and friends, it's been my absolute privilege and my complete pleasure to connect the class of 1994 with the class of 2024. And what's 30 years between friends? Thank you.